Assalamu alaikum. So welcome to another episode of the Tawheed series. It's a very, 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 very important knowledge that every Muslim must learn and must very attentively listen to throughout this whole series. I have made my first episode, which has already been published. So check that out first to fully understand Tawheed, please tag along with me on this series because there is so much in-depth knowledge that I'm going to be teaching you in relation to Tawheed. So definitely listen along and join the journey, share these videos, get rewarded in the process. Let's get started with the episode. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi wa salatu wa salama ala rasulillah alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Amma ba'd. So, similarly, the fire worshippers deny Tawheed al Rububiyyah by the way of associating partners with him because they say the universe has two creators, light and darkness, even though they do not regard both creators as equals. So, they say light is better than darkness because it brings goodness, whereas darkness brings evil, and the one who creates good is better than the one who creates evil. Also, darkness is non existent, it brings no brightness, but light is existence, it illuminates, and as such, it is essentially better. They also mention a third difference, which is that light is pre existent in the parlance of the philosophers, while they differ regarding darkness. Was it pre existent too or later created? They hold these two views, and this proves that the creator of the universe is one. So in Surah Al Mu'minun, verse 91, it says, "No son did Allah begat, nor is there any ilah, God, along with him. If there had been many gods, behold, each God would have taken away what he has created, and some would have tried to overcome others." This in itself proves that, if there was more than one God, there kind of be like a battle, wouldn't there, between the gods, in order to kind of overtake, alter things, do what they wanted to do, and take away things. Whereas there's only one God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this verse in itself just proves it. So for those who are thinking about, those who associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just come back to this verse, listen to it again. If I need to, I'll repeat it again. No son did Allah beget, nor is there any ilah, God, along with him. If there'd been many gods, behold, each God would have taken away what he has created. Wouldn't there? If there's more than one God, they would obviously want to have control, the power to do what they want. But is that the case? Nope. So that clearly indicates that there's only one God, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And some would have tried to overcome others, like I've just said. So if we affirm two creators for the universe, each creator would have wished to hold on to what he has created and reserve them for himself alone, as it is the practice of the kings who will never allow anyone to share anything with them. What he is alone in his ownership, he would wish for another thing, and that is the authority that belongs to him alone. No one should share anything with him in it. So when he desires the authority, each of them is either unable to overcome the other, or one of them holds sway over the other. If one of them both dominate the other, then his rububiyyah, his lordship over him, is established. However, if either of them is incapable of overcoming the other, the rububiyyah, lordship, cease to exist with them, because the incapable is not worthy of being a lord, is there? And, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, holds that lordship. And we need to believe in Tawheed. We need to believe in Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah, and we need to believe in Tawheed al-Asma wal-Sifat, the three categories of Tawheed. We must believe in them and go in depth about each of them, and there's much more to go over as well, so listen along. I'm moving on to the next form now, so hopefully you've been able to grasp a lot from the Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. Now we're going to Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah. It's also known as Tawheed al-Ibadah, which is singling out Allah with worship. When it is mentioned in connection with Allah, it's called Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah, but if it's mentioned in connection with his creatures, it's called Tawheed al-Ibadah. And this is to single out Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, with worship. Therefore, the one deserving of worship is Allah the Exalted. He says in Surah Luqman, verse 30. This is because it's Allah alone who is a true God, and whatever they call upon besides him is false, because it is Allah alone who is most high, the incomparably great. The term ibadah is widely used for widely used for two things. Firstly, it's used for worship, is to actually submitting our will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the mighty, the sublime, by acting upon his orders and abstaining from his prohibitions out of love and reverence for him. Second of all, what it also means is what by which worship is done. This is according to Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, an exclusive word for all that Allah loves and is pleased with of utterances and deeds, both manifest and hidden. For example, the salat, its observance is worship, it is worshipping. The same salat is worship. This is what with which one worships. To singular Allah with this form of Tawheed is to worship Allah alone, submit to him alone out of love and reverence to him, and worship him with what he has approved. Allah the Exalted says in Surah Isra, so set up not another God with least Allah sits you down condemned and forsaken. He is the Most High. Also says in Surah Al-Fatiha, verse 1, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We read that in every single prayer. We say all praise is due to Allah alone, the Lord of the worlds. By describing himself as the Lord of the worlds, it's like stating the reason for his deserving of being worshipped. He is the only one worthy deity, since he is the Lord of the worlds. Allah the Exalted says, in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 21, O you mankind, worship your Lord who created you and those before you, so that you may attain righteousness like the ones that worshipped him before you. You also worship him as well, so that you may attain righteousness. Has the Salah changed since the time of the Sahaba? Nope. Nothing's changed. So, worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the creator, and who created you and those before you. He created you before you, and things haven't changed, have they? And the one who is set apart with creation is the one deserving of being worshipped. It is from the sheer foolness to make a creature which was only brought into existence and would perish, a deity who you worship, when in reality it cannot benefit you. It can neither bring you to life, nor sustain you, nor extend your lifespan. As such, is also from stupidity that you go to the grave of someone who is rotten in the grave to supplicate to him and worship him. He is rather in need of your supplication, whilst you are not in need of supplicating to him. You cannot bring benefit or harm to yourself. How can he then such have an ability regarding others? This category of Tawheed is disbelieved and rejected by the majority of creation, and owing to this, for Allah sent the messengers and sent down books to them. Allah the Exalted says, we did not send any messenger before you, O Muhammad, but we inspired him, saying, none has right to be worshipped but I, Allah, so worship me alone and no one else. Surah Anbiya, verse 25. Yet the followers of the messengers were very few. Allah's messenger, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, said, and I saw a prophet with a group of people, and a prophet with one or two persons, and a prophet with who there was nobody. And in the on the subject of Tawheed, many authors have emphasized on Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, which we've already covered, about Allah's oneness in his lordship, as if they are addressing a people who reject the existence of the Lord. Although those who reject the Lord may be found, quite a large number of Muslims fall into actually associating partners with him. Therefore, it's essential to pay attention to this aspect of Tawheed al-Uloobiyyah. And that'll be, concluding this episode. In the next episode, I will be moving on to Tawheed al Asma wa Sifat. Until then, Fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.